Okay guys, I'm so excited. This is awesome news. We have card updates after the resummon feature. It was, like whispered around that that would probably buff the old cards because they have now no like excuse because previously it was a lot of work to do buybacks. Now it's so easy, and we have those. We have buffs, and I'm so excited because they are pretty good. And I've seen the biggest buff ever in the history of Spellstone. So I'm so excited. And well, let's see into that. So we have a Lightbound Archer. He got only a 4 health buff. That's very good because 17 HP was pretty bad for a 2 delay nowadays. And now we've got him a little bit, of survival. So that isn't bad. Paladin got 4 health. That's a lot considering it's empowered by armor, it's health with armor obviously means more, so it's like in reality because of armor it's not a 4 health buff, but it's like you can say that it's 6, 7 maybe, because the health is harder to get off of that card. Okay, Noble Champion will be an OP card now, because look, the changes gave it a +1 attack. It means that 5 will give us 3 Legion, and it got 1 health, not much, but still helpful, and Empower Angel 3, so it alone does 8 damage plus Bolt, which can be empowered by Arya, but it doesn't mean so much when we usually play versus, like in Guild Wars or in clashes, when there is a turret, it's a bit weaker because it has to, there's some given chance to get that into right target, so that hex isn't so helpful in like competitive situations, and yep, it will be a definitely good card because of that Legion 3. And I have 3 quads. I will soon, maybe in this video, or I think that I'll make another one when I'd like you to help me build my angel deck. I have a lot of angels, you will see. Okay, Storm Dragon is awesome. 10 HP buff, barrier all free. Awesome. It's now worth to use that card, but we'll probably have to wait. Oh, they didn't look. They didn't. How I know how it's called. Why do I forget? B. It's B on the. No, it's bigger. Bold? Yep, it's bold. They didn't bold the armor 5, but it's actually increased, if you haven't noticed, because I haven't. I thought there was no increase in armor. It actually is. They forgot to, bold that. So you have to watch carefully. Pretty awesome buff. Armor and storm and HP. Look that you can now use 2 legendary runes for barrier all 3. It will give barrier all 5 and dual strike, so it is actually barrier all 10 with legendary rune and armor 8 with legendary rune, so you have now something to use it on. Archgeneral. I'm so excited about Archgeneral because I miss only 1 card to have 2 duals, and it's so strong card now because I considered Archgeneral very strong card even before buff, because well, 10 base damage with Empower is pretty big, and we have some Vengeance here. Pretty nice HP pool considering it's free-to-play card, and some healing. With runes you can improve that even more. And now we have even more HP, even more Vengeance, even better healing, and Empower all Ether 3 when I'll use probably a lot of Ether cards, because Lightbound Archer, Noble Champion, Ribbit Wayfarer will have a lot of things to empower. Fallen Angel is a pretty high damage card and it gets 2 HP buff. That was the biggest weakness of that card, that it had 15 HP. It doesn't solve the problem so much, but I was like set to not using the card at all because of poor health, even though I used on those cards 2 epic hexes, so they had hex 5. I'm now considering using them, but still it's just 2 HP. I don't think it's enough in the current meta. I think it's too weak of a buff to use that card effectively, like to be of a top tier, you know, because it's decent card to even very good. Okay, so Vampiric Emira, that's a strange buff, to be honest. It doesn't really solve the problem of that card, which is it won't activate, it just won't. 26 HP with 0 defense on a free delay. There's nothing to talk. That won't happen. That card won't activate. I said can't. Sorry, Emilia. That was just mistake. Look, I've cried about Firehorn last video and now I am getting such a good buff. That's the one of the biggest buffs I think in this patch, in this update. Let's say update. Look, 11 HP. Wow. Vengeance 7. I have an epic Vengeance rune on my current quad Firehorn, so I'll get 9 and 42 HP. The rest is kinda, you know, Weaken All and Scorch. Yep, Weaken All 4 is pretty damn good when it activates, I have to say. And Scorch 5 and 10 damage is going to make serious damage to enemy. So that's a great buff. That card is so much stronger right now. I don't think... Yep, and after this patch I had some thoughts that Vengeance decks can become viable, very strong viable, you know, like very much viable, because most of the players during Angel Battleground effect will be using fast delay cards like dual strikers, so Vengeance decks with those buffs will be even better, and I think that many Vengeance decks with Oda will happen soon after those changes. And they won't come live now, they come live in like a Monday, so, but I'm so excited that I have to do it now, especially that I have all the material to do that, you know, we have all patch notes. And there's another thing we have. Developers claimed that this is only the first wave of buffs, so don't be bothered that some of your cards haven't been buffed, because it will be, I'm sure that they will buff all of the outdated cards, so don't worry. And we have a Garganotos. It's now a playable card. Very good, I'm very happy. Now I can do something with those thousands of Garganotos I have, but I don't know when. Probably when Goblin Battleground effect strikes. 6 HP is huge buff. And there is the biggest buff I have ever seen. Look at that. Armor 4 from Armor 3. Barrier All +1. And 14 health buff. You have 38 health. You have 2 invisibility. 4 armor. That's hard to kill. Very hard to kill, actually. So, yep, and I think that during Elemental Battleground effect it can be very strong. But the one thing I didn't quite like is Barrier All Wield, because it could be something else, like Barrier All Elementals. I would like it better than Wield, because nowadays people don't play faction decks, they just don't. Maybe Ether. Yep, I play sometimes Ether decks because of Uriel, etc. And generally, Ether decks have a good skill composition. What Wild lacks is bolts, and that's why people don't play like full wield decks, because they have no bolts. That's pretty much the reason. And they do a lot, especially that most players utilize now Arya. And when you play Arya and you have 0 bolts and full wield deck, that doesn't make sense. Especially that legendary Arsurio doesn't really improve nothing in full wield decks. It just gives some random things. And Giant Squid, pretty strange buff, because I think that they could leave that card and just buff another one, because well, the Sea Food Battleground effect is ending, and well, people won't use that card after Battleground effect, I think, still, because well, but it's still useful for some new players who randomly have a lot of squids maybe, and they can use it if they have no better cards. So it's pretty good. I just thought that's strange that they buff a squid when the Battleground ends. Okay, we have a reward set right now. Infinity, that was a reward card. It was awesome when it came out, but it is a bit outdated nowadays, because 21 health and 2 delay is, considering only pay-to-win players have that card, it's pretty bad, because, you know, in pay-to-win battles, a card with 20 HP and no defense with 2 delay will die instantly, won't even activate. That's why they buffed it a bit. I think that's a good buff. And I'm excited about Ebon Duelist. It's super buff, because I have a Berserk epic rune on it, and I'll have 3 Berserk now. It will get, with Arya, it will get after the first turn 8 damage, so it will be 14. Pretty damn good, and we have some HP to like, you know, put a cherry on a tart, you know. Yeah. It's awesome. Sharpwing. Okay, Wrath was yep, I remember that reward card. Also for pay to win, a bit a small buff. I think it will be a good buff, but yep, it will make it more playable. But I think it was pretty decent. But maybe it will get a bit of damage, like 1 only, but Pierce also, and 2 HP is also always good. And Sharpwing, okay, Sharping gets 2 invisibility and 1 attack damage. I don't care. I really don't care about that. It's still a bad card for me. It's 9 damage. It's like solid, because Arya won't weaken that, so it's 9 solid damage with Pierce, and potentially +2 from Hex of Avian, so it's 11 damage. It's okay, but it will die to some Vengeance card, and that will be it. And it's pure damage, nothing besides that. No poison, no scourge to like improve that, so that's why I really don't like that. Pack Runner. Oh shit, I haven't noticed that card initially, and it's awesome. I considered it one of the most fun cards from reward set, considering Angels. I like craved for a favor on Angels, like in Squitters, I don't know how are they called. You definitely know what I mean. That one delay reward card, and they even more improved that. I have a dual, and I'm gonna get a quad this Battleground effect, and we will get. Look how good that card is. 6 damage, 20 HP with armor 3 on a 2 delay, and what's more, it got Favor Angel 3. It means it will give Legion 3 to cards besides, like next to it, but it will even get legions from the other angels himself. So it's when you have two angels besides that who, let's say, give him like two noble champions, they will give him 3 legion each. So it will get, so it has 6 damage, 6 from favor, so it's 12, and 6 from other angels, you know, cards legion. So it's 18. Yep, it's 18. And you have to do it a good defense and a berserk free. And you can put favor epic to get like 20 damage, or berserk 1, or armor, and that's it. Okay, now we can talk about some pay-to-win cards. I'm not very interested in them. It's natural because I don't play them and use them, but I think that I will provide some information or maybe useful thoughts still. And well, I have seen a pattern in those. They're all pretty similar in their nature of those buffs. So you will see that soon. And those are mostly important for medium spenders, because most of those buffs don't make those cards like super top tier level. It just makes them playable. For like medium spenders, they're very good cards, but not like super OP. So that's good, that's the nature of a buff, that it doesn't make a card OP, right? It just makes it playable and good. So we have Winged Trumpeter, and it basically got a health buff to make it better for a free delay to activate. And we have some Empower here, and Faster Freeze doesn't mean too much really, but the health is most important. And Blind Seer gets a very similar buff. It's basically 3 HP, a bit of additional damage, a bit more than Winged Trumpeter, but it's still okay. And as I said, mostly medium spenders will use that because it's better than free-to-play cards, most of at least, and it's still not the top level. Azure Sphinx gets a very high buff because it gets 10 health to make it better for a free delay to activate. Well, it can be played because it has high base damage, and it will give like 3 hex. No, it will be, I think it will be, yep, it will be 3 hex. And dual strike, it can do a bit of damage, considering it is 11 when the hex lands. I don't know about those barriers, they are pretty random, so I don't know if players will use that. Maybe they will use that in a Vengeance deck. Skyward Guardian is going to be Avian, and that buff is very similar to Azure Sphinx, so devs basically added health to it to make it more playable on pay-to-win level, to let it activate. But still it's only 5 Vengeance, so maybe some players will use that, like medium spenders, I would say, not like a top tier card. White Knight got also a very healthy buff. So it's 11 and bigger armor. Yep, but it's still free delay. We will see if players use that. Probably yes. Well, Weekend All 4 is pretty damn high, and Empower Ether 7 makes that card to empower itself to 16. Pretty high value, especially that you can use Legendary Rune on that. But I don't think that players will use Legendary Rune on free delay card, because they are considered like worse. Okay, so Hemlock. Hemlock is a fun card. Look at the stats of previous like version. That's pretty laughable. And well, that buff is definitely making it playable for like player who spend one time and have it like, you know, laying in the resummon. You can play that, yeah, because it has some punch now, because if it's played on the first turn, it does 8 plus 7 considering area buff damage, so it's 15. It has good defense for like a cannon tower. Invisibility 2 is enough to make it like very small or nullified completely. And poison 3 is a good like, you know, cherry on the pie, so it's okay. Repair. Repair. Okay, so it's like a high risk, high reward card, you know. So weaken 8 will be often going to waste because it will mostly go. It's very rare that some cards have 10 base damage or something. Maybe now when there are such a high berserks, it will work. But yep, I don't think that top players will use that because 30 free delay and no defense doesn't matter that it has so much HP. But below that is very good card. And Black Knight got also like those buffs are pretty similar. So basically 3 delay cards get like around 30 something HP. So it's the same case. Also high risk, high reward. Hexal 4, high base damage, Scorch, yep. Makes a difference when it's activated, but on the top level it's still hard to activate that. Arctic Ambusher, okay, so we have here a card that was a bit outdated lately, and it's Avian. It got 1 damage and better barrier, like much better. Yep, so it's the same case. Some players that spend like a one time, they could use that card now. It's not outdated, it is playable for free to play and medium spenders, but nothing above that. Salt Knight is... so he has 3 delay and only 27 HP compared to those, but he has armor 4, so it's pretty the same. And he will provide a good healing. Playable card like all of these, probably not for the highest level. Like, you know, those cards like Arsariel, etc. And Sigil, I really don't remember that card, but it got some Valor and Wilt. Nothing to talk about besides it got Elemental. Okay guys, I think that you are excited, as I am. I think that every free-to-play player, especially player, is excited. And pay-to-win players also, because it's good that people who spend the money on some card and it was soon like very bad, because some of these were good when they came out. Like I think I've seen people using Arctic Ambusher when it came out. It wasn't so bad when back in the day. Now it's completely unplayable, and I'm happy to see that people who spend money can get like worth of their money. And I'm happy to see especially that finally free-to-play players can have some punch and some survivability. Thanks for watching guys, and see you at the Guild War, probably.